Welcome to the Dungeon House, where a bunch of regular people with regular jobs gather to play Dungeons and Dragons. We aren't professionals, so if you hear food ASMR or a baby in the back, just understand it's normal. This show is recommended for those 13 and up. The music you'll hear is brought to you by William Heaton and various other artists. We're glad that you're here to share in the fun and laughter, as well as the challenges along the way. So come on into our home, take a seat on the couch, and enjoy the Dungeon House.
Ain't nobody gonna get her down. She's the best. Those were her corduroy overalls when she did her Halloween costume.
Oh, wait. You like me? Maybe. Yeah. Do you remember when Faith was
Pretty
red?
good thing.
Do you remember? Can I hear someone talk real quick? I just want to see if I'm like our speaker's too loud.
Can we
Hello.
ever remember the 4th of July? Or I don't know the song.
Are you guys getting feedback?
No, not as much as last week.
I'm getting a
That's
little bit
Yeah,
of
like-
feedback.
There's a little bit, but not a lot. Oh, well,
If you want to turn
Yeah, it just got worse. It got worse.
Hold on, we're adjusting some stuff. We're live, I'm pretty sure.
I think
Probably.
we are. Try that again.
Sorry.
Oof. Oh,
Can you speak?
why?
Speak.
Am I required to speak?
Are you getting feedback from that?
Yes.
This speaker might not just be the way to go.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the other speaker is better. Let's try the other one. Back.
You might want to watch it drop.
Oh!
Oh.
Our son stood up yesterday for like 10 seconds by himself, so that was really cool.
Do you know if this time?
You drop.
You
wow.
borrowed it last time. So if you didn't put it back, then I don't know where it is.
Hey, where I would have left it would have been over here, but I don't know.
We're missing Joy.
Yep.
I wonder if we could just get by with my computer on there.
It was up here. How does it sound?
I can try and look for it.
Louder when I connected this, but didn't have it connected from the speaker. I don't know if it's just something.
Power on.
Oh, man. I'm tired.
Yeah, what you doing, dude?
I just texted Joy, so we're starting a little later today, but we'll get it going. We'll get the hang of this Monday. So if change, we gotta figure out.
Can someone speak?
Hello.
Hi, 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 hi,
Oh.
hi, hi.
Don't have.
So excited about it. I was so. Do you want to drop other things? Would you like to drop the pencil? Would you like to drop the pencil? You are.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Can you try speaking now? I'm sorry, I keep asking.
Oh,
Hello?
Oh, you smell. Smell like a
David,
stinky
tell
train.
me about what you did at work today.
today at work, I went in at 7 o'clock this morning. I showed up. I installed some main landing gear, and then I installed some flaps, and then I did rigging of the flaps and ailerons. Made sure that everything was working how they should. And then I sat around for like 15 minutes because there was nothing I could start to get done.
That is awesome.
My
Did you
day.
get any feedback during that?
No.
Sweet.
I don't know where the other cable went, but
If I had to clock in to work at 7 a.m., I
you used to be able to do that.
So it's just a mix. I'll
You got
and I don't, it's weird because I don't clock in. There is no clock at my work. So when I do a task, the time that it takes me to do a task, I bill directly to our customers. So
So you just charge it to that airplane, basically?
yeah. Yep.
That's how we do a lot of like stuff for the state when they're working for a specific project or something like that.
okay, so
Hey guys, guess what? I just rolled.
that's funny.
Not funny.
Whoa.
Doesn't surprise me because you never roll nat ones.
That's not true. I do roll nat ones.
I rolled an
See
8.
what?
Whoa.
I rolled a 19.
It's alright.
I rolled a nat 1 plus 9.
With a dying for an ego.
Oh my heck.
Oh.
Well,
I don't really want to start until we get
one more.
at least one more on.
Have you guys ever listened to We're All Eating Each Other by Juliet Ivy?
No.
It sounds like the one song by Julian Smith, I'd Rather Eat Randy.
Joy's not joining tonight.
She's not?
She forgot to text us, but she is driving to Paraguna right now
Well, good for her.
for an interview. So
She should stop by on her way.
Well,
We're
she's
all
driving.
eating each other.
Paraguna, it what?
Yeah, We're All
Juliet
Eating Each Other by Juliet Ivy.
Paraguna is before Cedar.
Yeah.
She won't get here.
Added to recommended songs.
Yeah. Well, I guess she's not going to be here.
Then
Good start.
I'm not gonna be there.
I'm done.
Joey's not here. What's the point?
Oh, there goes Kyle.
Oh.
He was serious. I joked, but he had the ability and the desire to do what I couldn't.
He had the gumption. He had
I
the
told
heart.
Joy she should just jump on the Discord anyway while driving and just play with us.
Oh, that's no dangerous.
Thinking of danger.
Oh well. Is Kyle gonna come back?
Well, Kyle's gone. Let's all tell an embarrassing story about Kyle.
I don't know if I have very many embarrassing stories about.
Let's be ready for a nap.
It's an embarrassing story I have about Kyle.
Really? That's a yawn.
Get his nose. Get his nose. Get
Do you
his
want?
nose.
Where's your big set of dice?
Get his nose. He wants your nose. Oh,
Ow.
no, that's too rough. Gentler.
Ow.
Oh, please, that's too rough. Gentle. Gentle. Oops.
It's frustrating.
Grumpy. Would you like some Cheerios? I'm sorry, you guys.
I just rolled a nat one.
I'm just wondering, like, we were going to start, and then Kyle left.
Yeah. What? Kyle.
You can't hear
What do you
us.
think you're doing?
You might be watching the stream. Just.
You don't text him back and say, "Hey." He might have had a phone call and had to drop.
Well, so much for Mondays, I guess.
So I just rolled again.
Another nat 20. Pace, I'm telling you, you average above 15.
Let's do
Your
a
luck-
casual roll today. 1 is he'll be a little menace. 20 is he'll be an angel. And we can just have a good time
That
playing.
dice is a count. You need to do one of these dice because that dice doesn't.
It doesn't roll 20.
Well, it does. But it's way that it's
14.
14.
That's
It's
good.
not. This is
Kyle.
technically a loaded dice in a sense because it counts.
I'll have
Nah.
you pick a die.
It's good to have you back.
I heard you were leaving, and I was just so sad that I had to drop off.
We weren't leaving.
No, but Chase.
It was great.
But Tori first said, if Joy's not here, then I'm not going to be here. Then Chase was like, I'm gone too.
And so we were just done, giving up.
Yeah, then I checked back and I saw you were all on, and I was like, oh, maybe there still is hope.
We were saying, Kyle, you're the only one with the commitment to be like, you
All
know, me
through.
too, and actually leave.
I was. I'm not commenting.
Well, maybe we'll just get started
You no.
for this. Yeah, it's over there.
49 hours.
He's good. I probably need to do that too. Is it due today?
No, it's due on Wednesday,
Oh,
but I just need to make up.
That's lagging a good amount.
that's okay.
Am I lagging for you guys fairly good?
You're doing okay now that I look at you.
Yeah, is that for sure?
Yeah.
I'm just watching it on.
It's. I think it's mostly through there. It's
Okay.
Oh,
behind
so there's always a lag on
on the stream.
yeah.
Okay, as long as
I can also get out of that camera if we wanted to. We don't need.
yeah, it's weird. Like
Why
it's like a second delay.
why are you texting me, McKay?
Because you didn't come back.
Ah,
Then you came back. That was anyway. Let's just start.
Okay,
Let's
let's go.
just.
Okay. All right. Well, we did some stuff last week. Anyone care to inform us of what we were able to do?
The Pungeon.
David, take it away. Tell us a little bit about the Pungeon.
It was an epic adventure that you should have been there for. Whoever wasn't there. So we went through and we punned on people. It was a lot of punnage.
I know, and people.
Also, thank you, Mitchell. We
Yeah.
should probably
Yeah.
I'll give a shout out to
Shout out to Mitchell. That was super fun.
That was awesome.
That was super fun. Yeah.
Good time.
We
It was
ended up by,
chill, but
I'll say that again, David.
oh, I was saying it was pretty chill and low key, but it was an extremely fun session.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we left off just kind of after that Pungeon that you guys had gone through. You guys had just barely exited it with Ivan. You weren't crazy far away from where you
Yeah, she can at least listen.
yeah.
It looks like she's muted.
We're-
So
We're just doing the recap, George. So thank you for being able to listen in. So right now is just you guys are traveling back to the lighthouse. Is there anything that you guys kind of want to do? This area, I didn't really get a chance to describe geographically what it kind of looked like. Vipro Noi is known for more like limestone cliffs, vineyards, smaller fields, rolling hills. In terms of kind of what real world application you could relate it to, it's similar to like the Mediterranean area, like Italy, Spain, stuff like that. Even though those can be very different depending on where you're at, but generic small towns.
with like the villas.
Yeah, villas, things like that. Where you guys had left towards was a little bit more into it, but you're not crazy far away from the main city, Essentia. You hadn't spent a lot of time there. You basically teleported in and were traveling at night, so you really didn't get a good look at things. and you found yourself kind of more into a forest before entering the Pungeon. So just to give it a little bit of feel as you guys are exiting the cave itself, you look around and it's not a lot of time has passed, maybe a few hours from when you first ventured into the Pungeon. I'd say it's probably about midday or so, and looking through the kind of more dense tree line, you can see the signs of birds chirping, the sun cascading through the leaves above, almost the smell of a summer wind on the breeze.
Is it almost summertime?
It is almost summertime. Pretty. By the point where you're at, you're getting fairly close to the like midway through early summer. So you're getting like summer is basically started for you.
Ivan, is that all you needed?
Basically I just need to identify it, see its properties, and be able to ascertain those things. It's for cataloging and making sure that we understand how the magic has worked. I may later on ask you if I could see some demonstrations of how it works, but or ask you how it's been doing in the field for the wands themselves. Those are the ones I'm mostly focused on. But honestly, that's really mostly what I need. I be honest, and you can see that his figure, like his facial features, kind of changed from kind of the rugged soft. He's like, I'll just be honest. Seeing that new type of wand, never held one in my hand before. It was awesome. It was so cool, dude. That thing is sick.
Glad it was worth it for you. As Baron is just like bleeding, like he's just pretty cut up and like all just like close to death.
Oh yeah, definitely worth it.
Great.
Do you need like a moist towelette or something like that?
Sure.
Okay, I have something.
I wouldn't mind taking a little breather for a second if it's all good with everyone else.
I'm doing fine, but that's because I have the moist towelettes. I got you. He pulls one out. It's lavender scented. Yeah, nice.
I'll wipe all the blood away.
So are you planning on taking a short rest or a long rest?
If people are okay with that, I'm okay with a short rest.
I was gonna go for long, because where are we going next is the real question.
When we're back to the Vigils for the next assignment, or
I believe that we're going to Ren's home. But I think we gotta catch back up, and I think we're gonna teleport through the Vigils, so...
Yeah, so maybe
Yeah.
we teleport back to the Vigils, take a little long rest there, or we take a short rest right now, go back to the Vigils, rest up, and get ready to move out.
Yeah, that works for me.
Yeah. You remember that you had a couple options of how maybe the best transverse to Ren's village. And so going back through the Vigil might be a good way of doing a little bit of research.
Yeah, we were told that we
options.
could talk to the Seekers, right?
Yeah, you have a couple of options. You could either leg it on foot, probably have knock might be even the closest, even though that's fairly far going up over the mountains. Or there is the option of maybe speaking to the Seekers and seeing if they would be willing to take you all the way there.
During our short rest, I'm going to use some hit dice.
Perfect. Yeah, definitely. As you guys take a short rest, roll those hit dice. Think about what you've done, your life choices.
This is up for, I guess, your interpretation, Chase. What do you think? I can't remember. What was your character's name again?
Ivan.
Ivan. Do you think he would have tried to talk to Alaya, or would he have even recognized it's Alaya?
That is a good point. I think during this rest, he would probably bring something up about it. If you're all right with that, he would approach you and say, "I know I've been really focused on finding these wands, but now that that's over with, I think I noticed something, and don't mind me if I'm completely wrong, but I knew your father was an elf, and I'm pretty sure your mom's a human. Um, you don't look like either of those, if that's okay from saying.
Um,
You look like a construct."
I mean, we ran into, I guess, some issues on our last adventure, and it ran into me looking like this.
Oh, well, that's all right. Sometimes I've heard of spirits and bodies being morphed into the the ability to how do I say it? Basically, it's like mechanist, the plane of law just super infuses itself into a person and makes them into a construct. So I don't know if that's what happened to you, but I've heard of that phenomenon before. What were you fighting?
Um, we were fighting dryads.
He's going to do history check. Kind of think about that for a little bit. Dryads don't catch me as something that would have much to do with constructs.
Um, you would be right, but like I said, it was a weird situation where you know how vigil missions can go.
Oh yeah, yeah. You might die. You might, lose an arm.
Exactly.
You, I mean, when we were in that Pungeon, I actually thought you died for a little bit, and uh, no offense to you, Alaya, but the mission sometimes has to just go on. You can't. When you fall down a hole, you don't know if you're coming back out.
Yeah, that would make sense. So I'm just, I'm happy that it was okay, and so got lucky. Got lucky for sure.
Yeah,
So
I don't know much about constructs, but since I'm more focused on magical wands and things like that, usually things that don't talk back to you, except for the one that um, we found this time. That was very interesting. I think it has something to do with part of the soul of its creator got trapped in that wand. But, anyways, enough about that. If
um,
you,
or go ahead.
I was going to say, if you have any questions on, you know, construct reversal procedures, um, the archivist might be able to look into it for you. They'd probably have a heyday, some of them, about you being, you.
Yeah. By the way,
But
if you could not mention this to my mom, that would be awesome. you know how she worries, and I just don't want to worry her even more than she
Ah.
needs to be, and so
I mean, I get that. I think this is exciting. It's a good look for you.
oh well, I appreciate it, but still, I just don't want to worry my mom. You know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Don't want to make her worry like, oh, is this, permanent or anything like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know. They might have ways of reversing it, so I'd
Well,
probably look into stuff like that.
yeah, I'll have to go talk to him. So,
Yeah.
anyways, I'm gonna hurry and make some food while everybody's resting a little bit. Make some snacks for everybody.
That's a question. I have a question about that, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. Do you eat food?
I do, yeah. I don't know if it does anything, but I eat.
Do you feel like you get less hungry when you eat?
You know, I haven't noticed, to be honest with you.
He pulls out like a little journal and says, "Are you okay if I take some notes and ask you some more questions?"
Sure. I
All
guess.
right. And he'll go and kind of ask you about day-to-day life. Some of them are a little uncomfortably personal, like do you use the restroom, things like that. How does that work? You're a little uncomfy, but he asks some major questions for the next little bit while you're preparing food for the party.
Did anyone else find it weird that everything in that tower seemed funnier than normal?
Tower? That was a cave.
The cave?
I thought it was wonderful.
I didn't quite notice. Seemed like just, the ramblings of any crazy mage. They always talk in riddles.
I definitely felt weird while I was in there.
Maybe it was a good weird, like a tinkling tickle, like a hee hee kind of weird.
Barely laughing.
No.
I think that.
Did Baron laugh during the Pungeon?
Probably. I don't know.
Probably. Snickered a couple times.
Baron,
Does Baron laugh usually?
Have we heard him laugh before? There's been a few occasions.
Baron, that feeling that you felt, it's called happiness. Very rare. Very, very few people have ever obtained it, except for maybe everyone in this party but you. But I think that's what you felt.
Mm. Yeah. That makes sense.
I'm glad that we were able to discover some of the mysteries surrounding your life. Anywho, should we continue forward? Is everyone ready to get going?
Yeah.
All right.
David, do we get something or Eli, do we get something from your food?
Yeah, everybody would just get a snack, just something simple.
You're not using your feet.
Oh no, I am.
Oh.
So,
Can you remind me what it does for a
yeah,
short
give
rest?
me 1 second here. So a creature can use a bonus action to eat one of these to treat. 1 sec. You can cook special food and have ingredients and cook utensils. So, at the end of the short rest, any character or any creature who eats the food can spends 1 or more hit dice to regain hit point. Regains an additional 1d8.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm just going back to food. Well, yeah, let's get going. How long was the journey to get here?
It's about we said it was about half a day.
Okay, so not crazy. We'll get back in time.
Yeah, you'll get back. You'll be back around 24 hours. You'll be really tired when you get back because you've been going kind of straight for almost over 24 hours. So, but you know that if you push through, you probably can get back tonight at the Essentia Lighthouse outpost, and then just get back to your room and take a nap. Then, yeah.
Well, let's get moving.
All right.
Do you want me to?
Can I see the?
Baron is just going to reminisce on things in the back quietly while he takes his son upstairs to try and put him to sleep.
He just glowers at the camp.
There's
Just the stairs. That's awesome. Well, yeah. Is there anything that you guys would like to do during the travel back to the lighthouse?
Not particularly for Adelaide.
Yeah, sounds good.
Unless there's some shops. She'll shop.
There's definitely shops in Essentia.
She'll
Very
shop
good
in
stuff.
Essentia.
You would probably know this actually, but give me a history check anyways, Adelaide.
Um, 22.
22, definitely. So you've definitely heard of Essentia before for its refined goods. It's known as similar to like Felsau, how it's kind of a hub of art and forward thinking and things like that. There's also even in Essentia chapel devoted to Yalfath, known as the Monastery of the Moon. But definitely the shops have been known for their great wares and stuff like that. They have a very lively shopping district, even though you guys are getting back late in the evening, almost early morning. Yeah, you'd be surprised if there weren't a few shops still open.
Should probably, make the rounds,
Mm-hmm.
Spend a few gold pieces, and then maybe stop by the, what is that signature?
The
Temple?
monastery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Place of religious worship.
For the looking around the shops, I'd like you to do an investigation check for me just to see what we find there.
13.
So not tons stand out to you as you're going through it. Like it's fun just to do the action of shopping. Do you take anyone with you while you're going, or is this more of a on your own look around?
Probably Pablo if he wanted to come.
Yes.
If anyone else wants to stick around, but this is kind of more like shop.
Yeah.
Like
Something that you would notice that you find intriguing is you're able to locate a store that sells different kinds of linens, specifically made for luxury travel. So a new bedroll that is built with almost a mattress. They use magic. It's a little portion of it. You press a button and it fills this reservoir with air. So that way when you lay down on it, rather than having to lay on like a hard mat or the ground, you have a cushion of air between you and the ground. called an air
Nice.
mattress.
It seems luxurious.
Yeah, it's you try one out and it's pretty comfy. You ask them like how well it works with holding the air, and they say definitely it works really well. Though they probably only last for a couple of years, and then they slowly start losing their ability to hold pressure. Unless you have a mending spell, then you might be able to fix them up, keep it nicer.
Sure that I could acquire a mending spell at some point. The price?
They throw it out to be around 200 gold pieces.
How does it compare to the luxury bedroll she already has?
I think what your luxury bedroll and bed setup right now is a cot with a mattress, which cots are very comfortable in and of themselves. The question comes down to, does she like more of a firm mattress, or does she like some squish to it? Because you're thinking maybe you could put the air mattress on top of the cot and have it even a little nicer. If she likes a soft bed. But if you prefer more of a stiff one, you might feel like you're getting enveloped by it, and it's probably better just to go with the cot.
I think this is very nice. Might come back and purchase it. As far as like luxury linens for adventuring, what do you have in the realm of leggings?
Leggings. She goes back and starts looking through. She brings back a few examples of leggings. Did you want them fitted or not? Like fitted leggings, like spandex? Is that what you're talking about? Or
Yeah.
do you want them with the foot or just the pants style?
Thanks.
Okay. She brings a couple back. Most of them are very soft textured, though you can see that some of them are built with more of a canvas outside that's still very flexible, with having more of a soft inner. From what you can tell, better insulating, probably better for cold weather travel. Though you know that this area is not really cold. And there's some that are just more designed to help keep water off of you. Say if you were to be hiking through the rain or something like that.
So she will select 3.
Okay.
And in the colors that complement the belt that she recently got.
Ooh. So I'm thinking almost kind of like a dark red, a dark blue, and I think the last one was a bronze.
Yes.
So almost, maybe not mustard, but I'm thinking gray. That could go well with the yellow.
Yes.
And gray could go well with any of those colors as well. So it's very, very practical.
And the price of these 3?
Those 3 altogether would probably run you 150 gold, 50 for each.
We do 100 for 3?
Make a persuasion check.
She's not persuasive. 13.
13. I think we can do 100.
But well, nice doing business with you.
Anything for the lady of the Brightor family.
What is the name of the store and the name of the person? If you don't, I can write
generic
something.
store and Bob Joe.
Bob Joe.
No. If you want me to come up with a name, I figure you've kind of come to a couple of different stores while you're here,
Oh, so
and you just shop
I
around.
just say it's in one of the stores.
Yeah, it was in Essentia that you ran into a store. You don't really remember the name of it because they start kind of blending together. So, okay.
She's got friends. We're shopping, networking.
Yeah.
Networking. She'll probably stop by the moon place and then head back to take a rest.
Is there anything that you'd like to do there in specific as you're stopping by? Just
I think since the last kind of the fall apart, with like the whole sorry. When the dress was misplaced.
Yeah.
And that was a little bit frightening for her. I think that she's been like trying to maybe I don't know if repent is the right word. But she knows that that's not like what a cleric would do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that she should be thinking of holier things, that she should be striving to serve her God rather than feed into this obsession that she's developed. And so after shopping and feeding that addiction a little bit. Oopsies, she's gonna go and try to seek that alignment that she's kind of been missing. And again, she's gonna pray, but in her way of just sort of like just looking for anything to hold on to.
Yeah, I get that. So as you enter into the chapel, the monastery of the moon, it's kind of a large building set inside, kind of on the pinnacle of a cliffside, stretched out, and the whole city, just to describe for all of us, it's built almost on tier systems, where each level of the city and each kind of different neighborhood's not the correct term. It's but that's like the only word that's coming to my mind right now. Sector of the city. District.
Region.
Each district region of the city is set apart on different levels built into this large cliffside that runs straight down to the ocean. Think of it like there's rolling hills, cliffs, straight drop, but in this place it's kind of step tiered down to that ground ocean. The height difference between the top, the highest point, which has kind of the outskirts of the city on it, to the port at the bottom is probably around 1,000-foot drop. This temple sits upon that highest tier, which is kind of broken into itself a couple of sectors. Usually farther out from the city is a little bit lower class, but you're set right on the cliff, and even not just on like a flat part, but almost like on a corner, jutting out atop of it is this beautiful monastery. You see that has a domed roof and different outbuildings and a wall built around it. The dome itself is the color of almost a light blue to white. It looks like light is shining through it, and it gives almost the hint as you look at it that it is the moon Yal for a second there. The grounds themselves have a lot of imagery of a bastion of protection, of chivalry, and you even see a place for those who are traveling, a large board house for those who are traveling to be kept during the evening time. Brandon, it's good to see you.
I'm here.
That is amazing.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Faith, you guys see this?
This little wren.
You can turn around and see it on the big one.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Hey,
Little dog. Oh my gosh, I love how it's part of your screen. How did you figure that out?
It's a
You
fun.
should make that into a sticker so we can send that in the group chat.
I should, yeah.
Anyways, so right now, just so you know where we are at, Ren, they're traveling back to the Vigils Lighthouse. Adelaide had a couple things she wanted to do in the city of Essentia, which was the one that you teleported to. She's going to, as of right now, the Monastery of the Moon, which is dedicated to her god.
Were you alone at this, or were all of us with you?
Pablo came with me and just kind of.
I think that was it.
He threw it out like, yeah, I was kind of down, but like,
Yeah.
At this point, everywhere we stop, Adelaide's, it's gonna go out for the rounds, get a few things,
See what's on the town.
get a little drinky drink.
Yeah.
Oh, makes sense.
This monastery, like I said, the grounds themselves have a lot of characteristics that remind you of protection, that lean into that idea of helping with travelers who may be not at home during the evening time, during the darkest time of the night, the time most likely for monsters to attack. And in it, you see a couple of reliefs as you're walking towards the main chapel, that main domed building. Set into some walls, you see what looks to be the main large Yal moon. And mind you, it's like 3 times larger than the moon that you see in our world, in the normal world. It's sitting above it. You can see underneath it the four other types of moons. The Yarna, the purple one, Miliosalva, green, Ochan, blue, and blanking on the name, but the red one. It almost looks like the main Yalmoon is watching over the smaller ones. And behind the moon, you see what looks to be the sun and almost a stylized version of the rest of existence, whether that be the plane that you live on right now, maybe some of the other planes it's showing through that, as if the moon itself is a gatekeeper or border between the sun, the place that you live, and whatever these moons are.
Walking in, does she see any other clerics? Is there like a community here?
You would see a community here. At the time that you're entering, think of it like 12 o'clock at night. Okay. It's like the night shift. Not that means that they're any worse, but it just means that there's less people. You see what looks to be some people dispersed among pews. This large area underneath this dome is like circular aligned pews radiating towards the center. At the center, you see what looks to be a large dais or a large, almost statue-like altar of the god Yal. In this depiction of him, he is wearing large plate armor. He on his back, you can see what looks to be a backpack. It looks like he's himself a traveler. On one side, on his back is strapped a shield that you see is the emblem of a crescent moon. And he's holding a walking stick, and one hand is resting against a large broadsword. His face is shown to be very angular and not necessarily angry, but serious. And his beard seems to be short, chopped, and almost of a militaristic style. He wears his helmet with visor up. Though the one thing that probably stands out most to you looking at the statue is his eyes. whoever carved this statue out of almost like a white marble inlaid for his eyes will look to be sapphires. You speaking about people that you see around you, you'd see well, it could be a couple of patrons, maybe in the form of prayer among these pews, like I mentioned earlier, as well as well, look to be one or like probably about 4 clerics or priests walking around lighting candles, maybe straightening up sacred texts, things like that.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
Probably something that maybe I don't know, I just realized that she'd probably be curious about. Do any of the clerics, or like yeah, do any of them look like her? Like the kind of transformed pearlescent glowy kind of deal, or do they just look like regular clerics?
They look like regular clerics.
Okay. Well, she will she'll probably approach one of the clerics and she'll probably be like, "Hey." Hey.
You- yeah, I'd say the cleric that you'd approach seems to be an older woman. She's wearing simple robes with ornaments that look similar to what you've seen in Theodorn, the country you hail from, though with slight variations. As for them, they seem to focus a lot on the crescent moon itself rather than all the phases of the moon. Most all their iconography just has that. And they don't really show any stars or anything like that among how they represent Yalfav. As well as when you've seen Yalfav depicted, he usually looks younger in the ones that you've seen. This looks more like a middle-aged father-like figure, whereas you've seen him more as like a warrior, younger style.
Because it's like a sleeve of a. Yeah, she'll probably approach it.
Excuse. Yes.
Hello. I'm Adelaide, and I'm a cleric under the Order of Yelva.
Oh.
I'm traveling through as a vigil, and I was wondering if you could tell me about your sanctuary and if you're in need of anything that I could help with.
Oh yes. We love to see our fellow brothers and sisters that travel on the road and spread the good word of Yalfav the way that, he wanted to those who are traveling. Thank you for your service. Yes, this is the Monastery of the Moon.
Just a little additive, as she's saying oh thank you for traveling and taking care of the travelers, she's gonna just maybe look a little bit guilty, and then just oh yeah, of course.
Okay. This is the Monastery of the Moon. It is the highest religious site for Yalfad here in Vipronoy. It is widely considered to be sacred ground for him, as it is believed before the time of the Paraxum, he had set up a camp at this ledge, and where you see that statue of him now is actually what is believed to be the resting spot that he laid his very head. Have you been through here before? Is this your first time visiting the monastery?
I've been here before, but it's been so long I don't even have a memory of the statue. Perhaps I was a little bit distracted the last time I came through.
Well, that's okay. That's one thing about traveling. You see very many places and very many faces. So that's why we always return. We always continue our travels, but usually that's not in a linear path, but one great round. That's how the moon goes round the earth, huh? That's kind of neat.
So she's still looking a little, maybe like I don't know. Last time
you feel kind of guilty that
yeah,
this lady is like up here with her. I just love Alpha. He's the best, and you're like,
last time that she was here, she was just she
Well,
doesn't remember because she was shopping.
yeah,
Last time she passed through, like with her father, she
yeah.
was like, "Oh, cool," and then like shopping. So yeah, she's not on the same level, but maybe I aspire to have your faith.
I thank you. I found Yalfath when I was close to your age. I myself wandered many years and found very much solace in the protection that he provided to me. He not only is powerful but kind, and not only kind, but he makes sure not to just leave. How do I say it? He serves all those that he can. And I find that very admirable. I strive to do the same in my own life. I'm a little old to travel now, and so I'm happy when travelers come to us. You spoke of being a cleric yourself. I do not recognize you. Are you from Vipronoy? Or are you from one of the sister churches among Yavna?
I'm from Felnor.
Oh,
My family is not associated with the Church of Yalfa.
well, that's okay. My family isn't either. They believe in Vasya. Crazy. The ocean. I never liked boats anyways. Anyways.
A little awkward.
You did you come here for a particular reason? That's a very far travel. I know that you're a vigil, so you might be here serving in that capacity, but how can I serve you today?
Passing through. I suppose I can confide in you, if anyone else, but my visit here is a personal one. I'm seeking more of a connection with Yalfa, rather than finding, his cause and Yalfa himself. He more found me, and to be honest, I'm not a traveler. I've played pretend a traveler for a long time, but only until I joined the Vigils did I have any experience being one that wandered at all. And I feel perhaps like I'm lacking the connection that you have.
Understandable. It's the hardest part of having any religion, any belief system is finding connection, whether that be through the people around you, as she kind of gestures to the other patrons here, or the divine. For me, I'd say it's not always been easy to find connection either. I ask you, do you seek connection not only through finding sacred sites like this, but finding him on the path?
Like looking for the moon when I walk?
Of course.
It's hard to miss.
That's a great way. And what do you do when you look at the moon?
Just look at it and I say, "Ooh, Yalfa," and then I keep walking.
Sing-
Yeah, I sing the Rebecca's.
Deep in the heart of your ball.
That's exactly what it
Can you
is.
sing that a little louder for us? I feel like that's somewhere, like you hear someone that's like super into prayer here. You just hear this. Yeah.
Moon at night, big and bright, deep in the heart of your love. How did I get here?
That's pretty awesome. There is more than just looking at the moon, though. It's following his path, following how he wanders, not just where. For he wanders across the night sky every evening, but following what he did and how he does it. That, for me, helps me build connection. You know, if there's a traveler along the way who needs help, you stop and help him, as he would. There's someone in danger, stopping and helping them. Sometimes not only in the words and what we think, but maybe in our actions, we can find that connection. But the words can help. Reading the texts, the accounts of his great protection of all of everything, during the Paraxen, sealing the usurper gods away, keeping his watchful eye over them even to this day.
Yes. Texts.
Very, very important to understand him and his greatness is to read the words that we have.
Yes. I think that this would be a great place to read the text.
Of course, we have most all of the text.
Great. I wouldn't hurt to brush up. The
Definitely
texts.
not. We have many texts, many scrolls, many accounts of visitations from on high, many accounts of clerics and paladins being pulled through the ether to his plane of existence. Many of them can bring you solace in understanding other people's interactions with Yalfa. Do you have any religious texts?
You know what? I'm actually gonna I was looking at her background real quick because I know that she studied religion, and I wrote down when. So, but it's been a bit. Okay, so
It's like, I remember I took a class in sophomore year of high school, Religion 101. What was it?
So this is age 14, she was under her apprenticeship, and then at age 16, she's at Fillnor's University studying religion, medicine, and law. And then at age 19, she is transformed after the ceremony of the sun. I don't think.
But she never studied Yalfa. She studied Bogdan.
Yeah, so she might have some knowledge of Yalfa. But
it was like the general.
Yeah.
This
She might
is
be like-
Yalfath. He really likes, walking around and wearing
Yeah.
armor and stuff like that.
Yeah. She's yeah. So I think maybe she thank you for all of your help. I feel enlightened and definitely motivated. I'd like to spend a few hours. It's midnight. I like to spend a bit reading.
Of course.
Thank you.
They're on the pews. There are carved phrases and verses of his wisdom, his glory. If you were looking for something a little bit more substantial, I could definitely bring you a scroll. If there's a particular one that you have in mind that you would like to read.
It's been a long journey. Maybe I'll make my way through the pews. And would you mind if I took note of any that inspire me particularly?
No, not at all.
Excellent.
They're open to all, just like how the moon's rays shine on everyone at night.
Well, thank you. But no. Speak. Go ahead, throw it out, man. Throw it out.
Just think you should touch the statue.
Okay, well, Adelaide will make her way through the pews, and she's gonna have her notepad out.
Okay.
And she's writing down specific phrases.
It's
not
like-
really paying too much attention.
You're like, freak, I need to figure out how religion works. Let me just write down the little
She's going through the PowerPoint.
going through the PowerPoint. You're writing down like the magnet sticker
Yeah.
phrases
And she
in your notebook.
the idea is to write them down, and then maybe when she needs encouragement later on to go back.
Yeah.
And when she finally gets to the statue, she's gonna just get a pen. Anything or is
Make a religion check.
oh man, she's not rolling well. Religion. Yeah, 13.
13? No. Make a religion check though. Are you trying to? Was that check for just when you're touching the statue, or you want to do like a general religion check? How you feel from this experience of coming here?
For the statue.
Okay. Make another religion
okay.
check.
Say, I rolled a 5. 8.
You feel guilty, a little bit, kind of down on yourself. You're like, freak, I'm supposed to be this like chosen person by Yalfath, and I don't even know what the texts are. You kind of skim through some of them. A lot of them are like simple stuff, like an apple day keeps the doctor away, things like that. You're like, I don't know if that really has anything to do with Yalfath, but I guess I'll write it down. Yeah, you really don't get a connection like you were hoping to. And it almost leaves you kind of puzzled, like, what's going on?
Well, I'm tired. I'm probably just tired. Pablo?
He's
Is he
like,
there or did he stay back with
he's
them?
like admiring the calves of the statue. Wow. That's crazy. They're like basketballs.
Good Pablo. Let's head back, shall we?
How fun. Yeah. Is there anything else that anyone's doing here in Vipronoi, in Essentia? Okay. As you guys all gather back up, I figure some of you may have gone drinking. No, he didn't. I figured some of you may have perused the like you guys like got to the Vigil outpost, and you realized that Adelaide wasn't with you, and so you're like, well, I guess what do we do now?
She'll be fine.
Yeah, you just kind of waited until she showed up, like a couple hours later, maybe 3. You guys teleport back. Find yourself in the Vigils dioptric ring among all the teleporters. Ihab says hi, and you're back here.
Nice.
Cool. I'm ready for the next one.
Yeah.
Am I right, team?
I'm taking my rest.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So are you guys taking a long rest before you kind of head out for your next thing?
Yep.
Oh yeah, if it's night, yeah.
It's probably getting fairly early, but you guys haven't rested in about 24 hours. So if you do kind of keep on, you're going to get a little tuckered down. So rest up. Sleep's great. Now here's a question for the group. Where are you going? What's the plan for the next step?
I imagine once we get back to the apartment, we'll probably talk about it a little bit. Of just
Maybe it's during the morning time.
sure after our long rest or
Long rest.
whatever.
Elia, what you got going for breakfast?
David?
Sorry, Loki was talking to me, and so I muted my mic, and I keep forgetting to do that. I don't think Eli would do anything super fancy. It would probably just be like eggs and bacon, hash browns
That's fancy enough for
with
me.
like some toast.
English muffin.
I was gonna say for like it would be like a full course breakfast, but Elia would be like, yeah, I know it's not a lot, like it's nothing super fancy, but
It's whatever.
yeah, I mean, guys.
Just gosh. I love these English muffins, Elia.
Oh well, I'm glad you do.
They make me feel like I'm from a foreign land.
Are you from a foreign land?
No, they just make me feel that way.
Well, why?
I don't know. I'm just this unknown place called English. Never been.
Oh well, I mean,
I've heard they make these are fairly common over in across the sea.
In a different continent.
Ah.
I think English is actually referring to one of the ingredients in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. Sort of like French fries are referring to the
French in it.
French
Yeah, exactly.
French minerals.
Yeah. Can't get away with not putting the French in the French fry.
Yeah, otherwise it's just a fry. It's gross.
So, Ren,
Yeah.
are you ready to see your family?
Yeah. I've been worried about him. So I'm just nervous, that's all. I'm just fearing the worst.
Well, better prepare for the worst than hope for the best, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling myself. So yeah.
Well, how are we getting there?
I don't know. Is the nearest Vigil outpost in Havelock?
Probably. You could. Let me just look at the map real quick.
Elia.
Because Bawuli is like just south of Havelock. Like
Yeah.
directly south.
It would be a couple week travel over those mountains, though, down to Bawuli. From Havelock, though, is my only.
Yeah, but wherever we travel from, there will be mountains.
Yes.
The Gray
No
Mountains,
matter.
Pacific.
Havelock would most likely be the cleanest way.
Elia,
yeah.
someone mentioned something about some like seekers or something that they have a way of getting around other than the teleporter.
I'm not 100. Are like the Seekers, like this is for DM Chase? Would Elia know anything about Seekers? Are they like Vigil
Make a history check for me.
history? You say? Natural 20 plus 5.
Say that again.
Natural 20 plus 5.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. You know who the Seekers are. You know them as the group who, remember when you were picked up from your mother's house?
Mm-hmm.
And you knew then at that time as well as now, those were considered Seekers. They're a special group of Vigils, a few, maybe like 3 or 4 parties of Vigils, that their whole job is to go out through all of Yavna and
Mhm.
look for people who are good, have good potential to become Vigils.
Okay.
That's how you were taken to the lighthouse, but first you were taken to meet Ren. Was you got teleported through their carriage, and you remember this specifically because for one you rolled really high, and for two you experienced it yourself. They have a carriage that is able to kind of almost be a moving teleporter. They can kind of put in a general area and get there, so they wouldn't be bogged down by, you have to go to Havelock first and then travel there. But they're also kind of usually busier than a lot. They're usually on the road anyways, traveling.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
something that might be hard to catch on.
Okay. I saw McKay got up and walked. Oh, he's back. Yeah. So they are generally a group of vigils who go out and search for, I guess, people who have potential to become vigils. It might be hard to find them. It might be hard to, I guess, get a ride, as you would say.
Would I know? Because I would assume that they are who I initially talked to find out about the vigils.
Yeah.
Like if they were like, yeah, we just barely got back from something where we hang out a lot, I don't know.
Yeah. So there is an office. This is something that I had probably picked up on. They have an office in the on the 3rd floor of the lighthouse, that kind of keeps tabs on where they're at, especially because they have the carriages are basically a direct link right into the lighthouse. So those are usually highly protected. For you, Ren, you just know that they were doing a pass through through your village. You remember maybe 3 times in your life that they passed through your village. Usually they didn't like really didn't stop for very long, maybe like an hour, talk to the chief of the village, said, "Hey, is there anyone here?" If nothing, then they just kept going. Except for the time close to when you left, it was probably they got there and they spent like a few days just kind of maybe getting to know you, viewing you before they said, "Yeah, this seems like a good candidate."
Okay. Well, yeah, I vote we go and like to the office or whatever, see if we can track that down. Because if they have like a walking portal, basically, sounds pretty nice.
Well,
I
let's
mean,
go then.
if we can find them, yeah.
We do that.
Okay. You guys go up to the 3rd floor, passing some of the places you've been before. You know, this 3rd floor is usually kind of more of the left for command center, more of the bureaucratic portion of the vigils, making sure things are managed correctly and as efficiently as possible.
Question for you, Chase.
Yes.
Is this where Elia's mom would be?
Elia's mom has a good chance of being up here, depending on the time of day.
Okay. Crap. Oh, I would, I think, go risk it. Just like have like a hoodie pulled up over her head, basically trying to just conceal who she is.
Yeah, sounds good. You kind of have that cloak pulled up, pulled back as far as you can, looking real edgy. You guys make it all the way up to the office? No, not a problem. No, you didn't run into wrong. As you enter in, you see what seems to be a simple door. You would also notice at this third floor, leading around the kind of area, it's a circular area with doors offshooting to different offices, different places. All over these walls are different names of vigils. This is known as the Hall of Remembrance. Places where vigils of past ages and vigils who have fought the good fight, passed away or died, or usually something like that. Even if they died not in the line of duty, but just died, are remembered on these walls. Their names are categorized here, and their birth and death date. You guys walk through these names to the doors. Anything that you guys would like to do?
Keep moving.
Yeah.
Elia is gonna stop and I guess take a moment and look at the names she knows.
Yeah. You know the place very well, as stated before. It's hard not to come up to this third floor and look at that spot. As you continue forward, you make it to the Seeker's office. You find as you enter in, it's fairly empty. The place being quite simply designed. There's like probably around 10 to 15 desks, but there's like one dude sitting down at a desk, like in the corner, and you can see that he looks to be doing something with a parchment paper and a pen. As you look over, it looks to be Sudoku.
An arcane puzzle.
Yeah, it helps me with my magical algorithms. He sits there, and as you guys enter in, he notices you after a few moments of trying to figure out what number goes where. He says, "Oh, hello. May I help you? You in the right place?"
Yeah, this is where Seekers are.
Yeah. Look, if you're here for a carriage request, box 1. If you here have a referral, box 2. He kind of looks down at back of the paper and goes to start scratching some more numbers on it. You look at box 1, and it, like you can see what looks to be like papers overfilling it.
I'm guessing we need box 1.
Yeah. There should be some paper next to it. You look, there's no paper next to it.
Yeah. People have started using like just
Like
scraps.
Yeah, it's like they're using like the backsides they erase someone else's and put their own and put it back in.
Oh,
Well,
oh no.
looks like we're not doing this. I don't know.
Opal would like to talk to the man. Can I talk to the man?
You can definitely do anything you want. You could hit the man for all I can.
Nope.
Punch him.
How long have you been doing that puzzle?
Um, this is in the very hard section of the little pamphlet.
Oh,
I'm trying not to look at the back where the answers are. So I've been working on it for probably the past 3 hours. It's been a doozy. I've had to restart like 2 times.
oh man, that sounds really challenging.
Yeah, it is actually. It's good for my brain though. Keeps me fresh because, as you can see, there's not a lot going on here right now.
Yeah, how long have you been working here?
I've been part of the Seekers for a while now. It's my shift for the next little while for me to be here at the office. Not out there doing what I want to do, but
What do you want to do?
well, it's actually really fun to be out there in the field. Looking for prospective vigils. They'll see the light in their eye. They're just ready for it. They're just they love the call of adventure that comes with it. And I just love seeing that in people's eyes. But it's been good though.
So why aren't you in the recruitment?
Oh, I am. I am. I'm just we're kind of our own little team here. We're not really like some of the other vigils. We don't get missions. We do all kind of mostly our own stuff. And every once in a while, it's someone's job to stay at the office and deal with the boxes. And yeah, that box was empty this morning.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
Dang.
I'm joking, but it sometimes feels like that.
So you just had to bite the bullet today, right?
Not today. I get to do this for about 2 weeks, and then
Oh.
yeah,
Bite 2 weeks. Ooh.
yeah, it's me. I'm doing the days. There's 3 of us. We're usually a pair going out. It's our turn to be here at the office. We just switch like every 8 or so hours, so that way there's someone here at least all the time. Just keeping track of the guys, the boys out there in the field doing their thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Anywho.
So I'm a little unfamiliar with this whole process, and I'm really eager to be a successful vigil. Could you help me understand of how I could best utilize this great resource?
Yeah, I guess the way to utilize the seekers, I would say, is referrals. Just if you know someone that actually wants to become a vigil, that helps a ton. Like, yeah, like he kind of like looks down at his paper, just kind of like tapping it on the desk. It's just I love seeing the faces. I already said that, but yeah, people. If you know someone who wants to, become an adventurer, kill monsters and get paid for it, and be a good guy, yeah.
Hey, sounds like you need to be an ambassador to get out there and see the fresh faces daily.
I am, but they cowed me in. No, it's my job to be here for the next week and a half. Mind you, I've been doing this for 3 days. And I'm ready to, put my head through this wall. And this wall's made out of stone. Whatever.
Well, I think you are a dedicated worker, so
I know, right? It's hard to be cowed in here. I work so hard when I'm out there. I really do try my best to find really good guys. It's not my fault that our quota's down. I really just, it's whatever.
yeah. Sounds like the company needs you. Needs someone like you with that fire to get some new recruits.
What was that? Kyle?
Okay.
Who said something? Someone said something.
You said something. I heard.
I said time to retire.
I'm sort of tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Anyway, yeah. You seem like a great asset to this company. You should make a change. Let them hear their voice. Let them hear your voice. And change this company for the better so that you can meet your quota and even go beyond it.
Yeah, but it's not really the quota's problem. Just, people are a lot more into like evil cults nowadays. They don't want to be the good guys. We've been having a hard time. The cult of Mauve really sticking it to us lately. We're gonna have to send some people to take them down. Come down a peg, but oh well.
Where are they at?
Oh, little pockets everywhere. They're really good on one-on-one interactions. That's really probably where they beat us at. Is they're just really good at finding the singular guy that really is all into the god of death, and they're able to find them because they're everywhere. They're like rats. They multiply. Freak. Anyways, guys, I'm sorry for burdening you with the things that I worry about. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
How many parts do the Seekers have?
We have 4.
Do you use all 4 at the same time?
Technically, no. There is one that my group uses. It's not supposed to be used right now because we are on watch. It doesn't work unless a seeker's with it.
Well, we can help you find some people.
That'd be great. I would love, like I said, referrals are the best. They're usually
No. I think you misunderstand. We could get you out there.
What do you mean?
Well, we're trying to get somewhere, and you can, take the cart. So perhaps we can help find some people while we're out. Send them your way. That's what you want to do, right?
True. Make persuasion check.
Guys, this is the wrong person to do this.
Persuasive one.
You can take advantage because Opal was helping with this conversation. Led him to the point where he was at.
Nat 20!
Nice.
Oh, dang.
Nice. He's like, I love it. No.
Just kiss me.
Oh gosh.
He looks at you and says, "Look, I can't take out the cart for any reason. We got the box for a reason. The box, we sort them for where Vigils, the Seekers, are at, and they can get there."
Oh, so it's got to be in the box. I'll walk over to the box and I'll tip over and like shake out all the other ones and I'll try to find a scrap and like write something in. Oh, here. I'll hand him the box with the one thing.
Look. It's not the point. Now I got to clean that up as well. But I like where you're going with this. But I have an issue. I can't take the carriage out unless I'm going to pick up a referral. So, now hear me out. If I get a referral at the location or close to it of where you're going, I could use my seeker privilege to expedite this referral and see if we could get them on board as soon as possible. While doing so, it would be necessary for me to take at least one other person with me as a means of protection to keep the carriage safe. But it doesn't have to be just one person, if you catch my drift. Rugal referral. I got you a ride.
Well, guys, we better give up now.
Wait, what? Ren, I'm sure there's plenty of people in your village.
I will say this. Because I like you. I like where you're thinking. I really want to get out of here. And game rules. You rolled an act right. I wouldn't be opposed to, even if this recruit, this referral, didn't come from the location. I just need a person. Someone that you know that wants to be a vigil. That I can sign up, have them in training by like 2 days from now. We're good.
Hey, Baron, don't you have a little sister that wants to be a vigil?
Nope. Not to recommend that. She likes.
I think she'd be a great vigil. She's smart. She's intelligent.
Moss, I will slit your throat now.
I mean, we could ask her what she wants to do.
Yeah, she's her own independent woman. She can make a decision for herself.
No.
I mean, maybe we could even add her to our group.
Find someone else.
She ever mentioned anything about the vigil?
No, she won't.
What do you mean she won't? She seems to like.
I was gonna have
everything
you ever
say
asked
about
her?
If you keep pushing this, then you guys can try and find your own way to get to Ren's house.
Ren's house.
Sounds.
Pablo.
Havana?
Bob Lowe seems kind of interested in adventuring. Would he want to be a vigil?
Havana Bablo? Nah, Bablo is like mid.
But Pablo, what about you? Would you like to become a vigil?
Havana part.
No, because I have to join another party.
I mean,
Leave us.
if that's part of protecting your stuff, if it's what you want.
But this is a big decision. Let's not push it. No, Rob Rowe. I don't know. Should we do... Opal?
I will say this. Pablo doesn't think many of the servants would want to become vigils, just so you know.
Okay.
As he kind of gives you like a from a vibe check, this has to be someone that you probably know at least well enough to say they probably would do a good job, or like more at a personal level.
Would there be someone from my village that has dreams of the wider world?
Ooh, make a history check.
Because I'm thinking maybe just maybe. History. My dice went so far away. 18 plus history. Plus 3. 21.
I will say this. You yourself were kind of the only one in recent history that really sound like this, like that want to do this from your village.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that there's some other villages nearby to where you're from that may either have someone or could have someone be convinced. That is an option. But you'd have to probably lie to the seeker saying, oh, I know this dude. He is so ready to get out there, and then go find him.
I don't feel confident about that.
When have we ever lied as a party?
Just someone who's recently deceased.
I'm standing right here. No, I'm joking.
My mom. Okay. I'll go up to the man. and I will say, I have just the guy. Or girl. I have just the person. I have only heard stories about them, rumors. But I have faith that if we go there, there's a village that's very close to mine. They live there. They are itching for adventure.
Okay. Okay. Do you have a name? Do you have anything like that?
Look, all I've heard them called. I've heard just whispers. People don't know the actual name, but I know that someone.
And wasn't he called like John Doe or something?
I think it was something like that. It was something like John Doe.
John Doe.
Maybe
I'll write that
Jane
down.
Doe. Maybe Jane Doe. But listen,
John. Last name Doe for sure, though, right?
maybe something close. It's one syllable for sure.
Could be Fawn.
Yeah.
Um,
But
so
look,
definitely
listen,
two, like one syllable first name, one syllable last name.
I think so, yeah. And like the villages down there are so small and so remote. Seekers don't get down there that often.
Yeah. Do you have like any descriptions? Like, are they fighter? Are they more about spells? Like
I think they're strappy.
scrappy?
They're kind of plucky, yeah. Light on their feet. Amazing at marbles. Man. That's what I've heard.
All right.
They can shoot one of the little beads from like 60 feet away.
I think what Ren is trying to say is they're adaptable to circumstances.
They're adaptable.
I like that word. That's really, something that we look for when we're looking for vigils.
Yes.
Yeah, that was on how to get into the Vigils 101 cheat sheet that I got off the store.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keywords to use in the job description. Yes, I like it.
And that was not Kyle, that was Moss actually saying that.
Yeah. I've seen those go around a couple of times. We actually kind of like put those out there as seekers to try to, make it look a little bit better when people actually try to join. So that way it looks like you're joining for the right reasons. Classics. This sounds great. I would like you guys to do a persuasion check. That was mostly Ren, so I think it's just a straight roll.
Okay. My persuasion is not good. 10.
And you're sure that this John Doe or Bon Mo or this Fawn Go person is a real superstar?
Oh yeah. It's definitely worth looking into.
How would you like to kind of give guidance in this scenario? Like, I'm just saying, like, role play wise, like, are you going to just like pat on the back? Yeah.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? He's the best.
Best?
Jeez.
And
yeah.
sure, with a little convincing, we're there.
Oh, so he needs a little bit of convincing.
I'm saying if there's a little bit of resistance, it won't be that much.
Okay. Right. This isn't a lot to go off of, I'll be honest. But I've gone off of less. And I think we got a good case here. John Doe, maybe. We have for sure though his name is first syllable, last syllable. Just one syllable for both of them. He's plucky and light on his feet, great at marbles, and adaptable. That's the person we're looking for.
Yeah, or she. Keep that in mind.
Yeah. You've only heard whispers.
I've only
Have those whispers ever entailed wanting to join the cult of Mauve?
Not that I've heard. I've never heard cult. That's for sure.
Okay. I'll write that down. Not Cult of Mauve. I love how you got through that in there. Okay, sick. That's great stuff. I really like that. All right. Okay. Let me go get the keys and meet me outside behind the lighthouse. Okay. I'm going to go tell my buddies that I have a great referral in, where are we going?
Bauli.
Bauli. Where's that?
I'll show you the way.
Sick. And yeah, we'll hit the road. Sound like you got deal? I don't think I got you guys' names. My name's Grigri. Not like Grigri, but Grigri. Yeah, I like the flying guys. Grigri. People get it mixed up all the time. You know, when I got my referral, when I was just starting out as a basic vigil, they wrote my name down wrong. I found my file. They put Gregory. It was so embarrassing.
That's the worst. The worst.
I have so much like personality from this NPC. Like
There's
like,
a lot of
there's
NPCs that have so much personality.
Okay, you guys meet me out back. I'll get everything saddled up, the horses, the 9 yards. My buddies, I know they're down. Whenever I say we got a good referral, they'll be like, say no more. So we should be good. No questions asked. Keep it under the table. I got you. And with that, we're going to go take a break.
This is not going to bite us in the butt at all later on in life.
Are we back?
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
Okay. So, what's the lowdown? What's going on?
So are we
We're
meeting
getting
them out
in-
back?
We're meeting someone out back.
To get in their car and drive away to unknown places.
You're running away from home
Well, running to home.
for some.
We're running to someone else. We met some guy who told us about his home, and now we're sneaking out to run away with this guy to go to his home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys head back there. I'm assuming you're just heading straight there, unless there is anything that you'd like to do prior to that. Yeah, you guys head there. You know that the Vigils.
Pinky probably would have wanted to check if her sword is there. I don't know if it is, but just knowing.
Yeah, if it with that, it's only been a few days. It'll probably take a couple weeks before it's prepared. So I think it's only been like a day since if she put it in. I can't remember. But it should be.
I just wanted
maybe
to, because I would,
in a couple weeks. It takes time to enchant, a magic item. Skulls just don't grow on trees.
No, but they do.
They do
Pop out
remove
of your
skulls.
head.
You guys head down. You find yourself walking around the lighthouse tower itself, and it's huge. It's like a good, probably the circumference of it ranges on like almost 1,000 feet. Thinking about it, so walking around it takes a while. You get around to the back side, and not too long later, you see Grigri show up with a carriage pulled by 4 horses. It looks like a fairly average carriage. It's closed on the inside, and it's it doesn't really sing magical teleporter take you anywhere carriage, but it's got 4 wheels, 4 horses under the hood, and it's ready to roll. He's like, "Hey, you guys get ready quick. I'm glad to see you here. I thought I was going to beat you."
Don't feel like a princess.
Do you feel like a princess?
Not
Is
at
that what
all.
you asked?
It just said it's the horse in the carriage, but it's not like anything fancy. So I don't feel like a
Yeah,
princess.
you don't feel like a princess. You feel more like probably Duke of like lower standing, has land, but he's going somewhere for travel, not for show. I mean, it's still 4 horses. That's better than just 2.
Yes.
So was this it?
Yeah. Old girl's ready to go. He kind of gives that pat on the side.
All right.
Adelaide's like already in the carriage. She's like ready to not be able to feed anyone.
As you enter into the carriage, the seated position area is actually quite comfortable. It's almost like the outside looks more dingy than the inside. The inside's nicely embroidered fabric. It's not probably quite to the level as like your personal carriage that you took when you went to Felsau, but hardwood floor, tight design. You think this would keep you out of the weather and the rain if you need to. It wouldn't leak. It says, if you guys want to, you can strap your bags up on the top. That way it's a little more room down there. Come on, be a pretty tight squeeze with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of you. 8 with the guy that's pretty big. So with that, I'm probably gonna have to ask one of you to ride up front with me. Who wants shotgun?
Shotgun.
Pinky will raise her hand.
Yeah, we can take you up front, but you could probably fit in the middle. We could probably fit 2 up there if you're coming.
Ren, you should probably sit up front since you got to show them how to go.
Yeah, if I'm leading, I'd like to be in the front.
You can be the co-driver, dude. Yeah,
Heck yeah.
sweet. I appreciate this, and he leans forward towards you as he kind of helps you to set up there, and then as Pinky you fly down, everyone else is like piling in. He's like, I really did need this. If you ever need to do something like this again, as long as we get a referral from it, we should be good. Just, I'll let you know whenever I'm sitting down. Boost that quota, right? Goes for like the fist bump.
Yeah, I'll
Knock
give
it.
it knocks. The
Sick.
bones.
The bones. All right, let's do this. And he, and you guys kind of roll out of town. Thus far, it seems like fairly normal carriage. You're not noticing anything like super special about this bad boy.
Do you think he chose the wrong cart?
What?
Like, this seems like a pretty normal cart.
And that surprises you why?
I don't know. I guess I just figured that it would just take off and we'd be there. I don't know. When my grandpa mentioned it, he thought it was the coolest thing that ever come around by the time he was here.
Is it because your grandpa wasn't around before the wheel was invented?
That could be true.
Could you imagine being alive when the wheel was invented? Could you imagine not having that? You'd have to carry everything.
Is this a lie or is this your dialogue,
No, this is
David? Are you processing this right now?
A little bit of both.
I guess.
Must be really hard having to walk everywhere.
Up on the bar where I'm from, they don't have wheels. They have squares.
Wait, what?
You should take a wheel back to where you're from someday, and you would be made a hero, I swear.
It's less about the making the wheel and that they don't have it. They know about it. They just don't believe in it.
They're like morally opposed to the wheel.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's kind of an old culture thing. I wouldn't talk about it.
Hey, but I get it.
Pablo, I once heard that there's a group of people that think that this world that we're on is maybe a little bit more linear than some people think.
I don't know what linear means.
Flat.
Flat? Well, yeah.
Isn't the world flat, Baron?
Maybe he just doesn't know better, okay, guys? You gotta give him some slack. Where he comes from, they don't believe in wheels.
Hey,
Doesn't know better.
I'm just saying, I think it might be a little rare for some of us to know the Earth is round. Like, have you ever been up outside the Earth to see if it's a circle?
It actually is part of normal religious teaching that the Earth is round.
Never mind, the Earth is round, guys.
Yeah, and they believe that the sun itself kind of was made in the minute when the sun was formed, because it was formed after the gods left. It actually pushed the world away from where it was originally in the center. That's kind of the typical belief system that the most of the world sees. Case in point, when Adelaide saw the mural of kind of the plane of this world, behind the moon, it was depicted as being round. So, little fun fact there.
Cool.
Well,
As you guys
this is going to be a long ride.
keep going out, you leave town, heading, towards somewhere. It looks like he's mostly just trying to get out in the fields, not in the same place. And he, as Grigri is kind of going, he'll turn to both you and you, Pinky, and Ren,
Mhm.
and say, "You guys ready?
Yeah.
You strapped in? Because if you come apart and aren't connected to the carriage, you could get lost in the astral plane."
Gosh.
You see, like, there's
yeah,
a rope.
something to grab.
There's like a handlebar in front of you, and like a rope that can go across everyone in the middle.
Does the cart have to get up to 88 miles an hour?
As he kind of like whips the horses, they start trotting and start running with the horse, and you see what looks to be kind of like a flat portion, a little bit more angled downhill. And he's like, "This is where it gets fun." And he's like, "Yeah!" And it's, and you guys in the back, you can kind of feel it kind of getting bumpier and bumpier and bumpier. And he's like, usually at this point, when we're actually taking someone to do the training grounds, this is the point where we introduce the sleeping spell in the back, so that way they don't know what's going on, that they don't know they've been teleported. But I won't do that to your guys' buddies today. That'd be kind of messed up. Should I?
No. Yes. Yes.
I just wanted to see. It'd be really funny. And you wake up and they're just like there. That gets me every time. I love when we put them in like the magic circle and they're just conked out. We usually like stay like a couple feet, like 20, 30 yards away and just watch them when they wake up. It's so funny, dude. He's going super fast down this hill. It's like to the point where the weight of the carriage is like kind of propelling itself forward. The horses are just kind of almost trying to keep up. It's about this point where you see like the reins and the carriage itself start to kind of light up. And he's like, "Oh, I guess I should probably turn the cloaking off." And he does like almost a whistle sound where he and you see from that it commands the carriage around you to turn from looking like an average carriage into like this very sleek, ornamental, almost very magically arcane design with angular edges and smooth curves. It looks like a hot rod. It's sick. The horse's hooves start glowing, and you see what looks to be almost sparks of energy forming in front of you. As you keep running, you see what looks to be a teleportation circle. Ren and Pinky, you have the best view of this. Start to form out of these sparks as glyphs and wards get painted in front of you. And he's like, "I don't know why they set it to where once we get going fast enough, it'll actually teleport us, but it's kind of a fun thing." Eventually, as all the pictures coalesce, he'll turn to you, Ren, and says, "Where are we going?"
I'll just describe roughly where it is.
Okay. You like pull out a map and point.
Yeah, like right there.
Okay, and it's like sick. And he does like a, and with that, the teleportation circle smashes into the carriage itself. Though it's not necessarily like it's breaking either one. You pass through it, and you find yourselves being misted like you usually do, but the carriage has come with you as you all are kind of spiraling through this plane, this realm where you don't really exist, but you do, and you kind of exist everywhere and nowhere at once. And for some reason, you can still tell that you're sitting on a carriage. And I need everyone to roll a Constitution saving throw. as you're suffering a little bit of turbulence.
Just imagine the trolls
Yeah,
holiday
going through
wormhole.
the wormhole.
I got a 9.
Yeah, can.
19.
Nice.
14.
22.
Nice. Elia and Moss.
Like super close.
Sorry, I had to step out for a second. What was going on?
I need you to do a Constitution saving throw
Oh, for what?
for teleporting while sitting in a carriage. With the turbulence.
Con save, you say? Let's see. I'm pretty good at those. 21.
Now, Moss, what did you get again? I didn't hear you.
I got a 12.
Everyone passes except Ren. Ren, you throw up a little bit in your mouth,
Yum.
but you're able to keep it down. It doesn't come out.
Ew.
You just get that burn of the bile. It's not fun.
Love it.
So, about a few seconds later, it almost feels like it's hard to tell whether it's an eternity or no time at all. You guys smash back into another teleporter on the other side, and you find yourself in kind of some thick wooded area. Rin, would you like to describe what the surrounding landscape around Bawuli looks like? What kind of vegetation do they see as they roll up?
Yeah, do we see, is the village in view?
You're a little far out,
Okay.
as it's hard to be real precise.
All right. I'd say it's like, since we're like transitioning to it, it's like that humidity that like makes your palms all sweaty and you're just like, oh, I'm wet, like, oh, I'm swimming, you know?
Like you start rolling with sweat already. It's
Yeah.
not because you're like crazy hot or you've been doing something. It's just you constantly are.
It's just the water around you, you know? As you look outside, all of the dirt and soil is very just like sandy, very loose. The vegetation is like sugar canes and other sort of like bamboo-esque shoots, as well as short like ferns and like palm trees, or like lots of like fruit trees, like mango trees or like avocados. Very large, kind of viney trees that give you some nice shade, you know. Lots of grass and it's just very lush.
Are there any date trees?
Sure.
Yes.
Yes. Are there any prune trees? Because I need it.
I need some of that.
As you settle down into kind of this trot and the horses slow down, it says, all right, let me pull up my map. Grigri says as he unfurls a little map on his side. He opens it and the best way to describe what this looks like is the Minecraft map where it has a little compass director of where you're at and where you're facing. And he looks at it, he's like, we're looking at it. If you're pointing right there, I think we're about like an hour-ish away from you, from where we're trying to get to. Just enjoy the ride. We'll probably slow down a little bit. Let's do a good trot. These horses are well bred for teleportation. And they're also really good at running fairly quickly. So we'll get there pretty soon. As you see the little carriage icon on the map kind of slowly like ticking its way towards where you know Bawuli to sit.
Nice. I think I'm just like gonna like take it all in, like look around, kind of like smell the air, just kind of sit silently in waiting.
Is anyone's hair like
Getting the frizz?
frizzy?
If you use the right hair products, you never have to worry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pablo's hair. I would probably mention this, Ren. With the heat and the humidity, it's very tempting to just take off your shirt because, like, this time of day, there's no point in wearing like upper clothing.
Exactly. You know, I am gonna take Donnie out, let him kind of air out, soak it in. You know,
As you take Donnie out, you notice that he's how has he been in like your bag or where's he been at?
I don't know. Yeah, probably just my bag for now. I'm thinking about maybe like getting himself like a little thing on my side.
Like a jar with
Little
like a lid.
for there. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're workshopping it.
Okay. You notice that the kettle is getting a little tight for him, and his as you open it up, you see that he has like a little pseudopod hanging out like the pour side. And he's like been like searching around your bag, and he's found what looks to be like a piece of like dried fish. And he's trying his best to try to pull it through the hole, but it's facing the wrong way. So it's just like here's the hole and here's the fish. It's just not working. You can hear it every once in a while, just like a little squeak.
Yeah, I'll get it and I'll put it in his pot, but I'll take him out of the pot and kind of, or I'll at least like take the pot lid off. I don't want to
Yeah,
burn
you
my
see as you take the pot lid off, it's like kind of stuck, like like the yeah. He's filled up this tea kettle pretty good. You've been feeding him fairly well lately, and so he's been a growing Donnie.
Nice. If I can like pick off like a fruit or something, I'll give that to him too.
Yeah. What kind of fruit do you get?
I don't know, whatever's nearby. Maybe like a passion fruit.
Yeah. You just pull one off and you like clop it in him, and you see it like as it falls in, it starts fizzing. It's almost like a bath bomb, but in gelatin.
It makes quick work of it.
Yeah, he's just like even down to the seeds. Like he's just gone.
Like yeah, my guy.
After it's done, because it was kind of fizzing, he lets out a little bit from the air releasing.
Yeah, and I'll pick one for myself too. You know, I'm like, you know what, Donnie, that looks good.
Yeah.
It's really appetizing the way you eat that. So I'll pick one off and just kind of be just vibing, taking in my homeland.
Mm-hmm.
So, what have you guys heard about Lena?
I think I remember you.
I mean, that's where Ren's from.
I haven't heard much about this place besides they got dates.
As in the food or as in
Yeah, Moss is creeping me out.
No. Well, I did hear that there is a vibrant older generation because of this warm weather.
Moss, are you all into older women?
Well, I'm into women about the same age as me, Baron. I think it'd be sort of creepy if I was into a younger woman. But anyways, what I'm saying is that dates are a pretty heavily traded commodity up in New Tortuga. I had a couple dealings with some people with the date trade.
oh,
The fruit. Opal.
we didn't specify until now.
I'm sorry I don't have a dirty mind and need
I'm
to
sorry,
specify.
my communication skills.
When I was growing up, I was always told of this place that had mist just surrounding it, and it was filled with just demons and devils. But
Yeah, 'cause there's dirty people here. Apparently, doing dirty things. Not
What?
true. I'm pulling your leg. I'm pulling the moss thing. Not true. There's probably wonderful people here.
in all seriousness, it might be good for us to be prepared to look out for Ren. We don't know what we're gonna find, at least regarding his family.
true. Could make
Brian,
another.
how old's your
Yeah.
mom again?
No, Mom, no.
Yeah, I will not answer that.
Oh, I imagine you couldn't hear us because we're like in the car.
There's a little cubby opening that you can like for the coach to like talk down to you guys. If you like knock on it, you could probably get Ren's response. And so I assume that Moss probably clambered over there and opened it and asked the question.
I'll say no, Moss.
It's a valid
We'd probably.
question.
Oh, go ahead.
Never mind. I'll stop now. I'm ahead.
I imagine that we would have closed it afterwards and just been like, so what are we going to do?
You could go over communication skills because that seems it needs some work. Empathy. Let's discuss empathy. Adelaide, is there any trainings on how to be empathetic?
Who'd you ask?
Adelaide.
I'm gonna take a quick flip through my book and see if I took any little fridge quotes about kindness.
Kindness.
Yeah.
You'd see. You're not sure if it was cleanliness or kindness next to godliness. It's hard to read your writing. You're like, ah. You do roll a investigation check or investigation check.
5.
The one that really stands out to you from like your little thumb thing is that judgment is only for the just. Those who do not fall in that grouping will be cast off. And you're like, ah.
I'm sure there are trainings for empathy.
Okay, I'll let you look.
No, you know what? I've got a good training for empathy. Okay, Moss, do you agree to training for empathy?
Wait, like me personally, like I need a training, or all of us collectively?
Are we all going to train for empathy?
Well, I'll do it. We ain't pointing fingers, and as Opal side eyes Baron and Moss.
As she points a finger.
Not physically.
All right. If we all go through empathy, including Opal, I think I'd be down.
Yeah. All right. All right. The exercise is, everyone pick a partner.
Boss.
Baron.
I'm trying to think. There's gonna be
It's an odd number.
Pablo
is there.
Pablo is there.
Pablo. Pablo. Oh, good Pablo.
I'll go with Pinky.
Pinky's up front.
Pinky's Alaya.
Okay.
And then maybe, get the kids in front. In on the.
Have fun, a bar. Opens it up. Hey, you guys want to join an empathy training?
Empathy training? What? Why?
Yeah.
What's
I
this?
don't know. It's something that Opal and Adelaide want to do. Have fun, huh?
It's a team bonding activity. Nothing else, just team bonding.
I'm okay. Thank you though.
Pinky is too distracted with all the pretty plants.
She's not even like sitting down anymore. She's just like flying, buzzing around.
I need to choose which partner is plum partner and which partner is pear partner. Please decide. Alaya,
Pear.
would you like to be
Plum.
plum or pear?
Pear.
Whatever you don't want to be, I'll do that
All right,
one.
I will be pear. You will be plum. All right, here's what we're going to do.
Wait. Have fun now. They need to pick.
Oh,
Boss.
Aaron, you're a plum.
you're a plum.
You see Pablo go for like a high five because he's also a plum. Do you give him a high five back?
Plum team.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Plums, you must follow around No, pears, you must follow around the plums, and you must be their shadow. We should follow them and learn the way that they live. And you learn what they go through in a day. Their likes and their dislikes. You eat what they eat. You sleep near where they sleep. You take
You see, with like
look at
all
their
these descriptions, Pablo's face gets redder and redder. Like,
within reason, within appropriate bounds. To learn how to walk in another person's shoes and see how they live and what makes them tick.
Adelaide, I think all that's great. I think you said the exact right thing at the end. The whole part of stalking and becoming the other person, that's a little much, but
Don't just become just shadow. Consider that you're an intern to the life of the plum.
but I'm a pear.
Yes, but this pair is going to learn about the life of the plum. And Adelaide's gonna lean her head out the window and be like, Pinky, you're a pear. Oh, she'll figure out what it means eventually.
Or she'll just start randomly stalking people.
Beginning now, 24 hours, pears, you must learn to have empathy for the plums.
I'll find that part.
Wait, this is 24 hours. I thought this was just like 5 minutes.
This is a training. And training takes work, Baron.
Oh, I'll follow Baron around.
All right, Moss. I heard that there's good fishing here.
Good fish.
And Adelaide will be like, all right, Elia, let's read books or whatever you do.
Pablo starts explaining like how to carry things. Like, so lift with your back, lift with your legs, squats. I do 200 goat pushes a day. Really helps to work the abs. If I start from seated position and then go to full push. Anyways, eventually though, in the horizon, on the in the whatever I'm trying to say, the words, you see breaking through the tree line what looks to be the path starts following along the coastline. You can see every so often you'll come across what looks to be a stream, that stone ancient bridge that doesn't really feel like it fits, has been built over it. It's archway, letting the water pass underneath while you can pass over. These bridges, Ren, by heart. You're not too far away from your village. Now, these were built in ancient times by what's believed to be your people. They were meant to help get through some of the harder places. And it was believed that these streams used to be a lot larger than they are now. And so crossing them was very dangerous, especially when it became high tide. Many of the roads here have actually been built up higher than kind of the surrounding ground. And there's little bridges every once in a while to allow the drainage to happen. Because both sides of the road here, during high tide, gets flooded. And so the road is almost like it's an island through the flooded mangrove trees in this area. It's actually quite beautiful during that time, and it leads to really good fishing if you sit by one of these bridges as the tide is going out and the fish are passing. You know that very well as well. Not too long after that, though, you see in the distance the shapes of huts. You see kind of the smell of what looks of fire. Someone must be cooking their early dinner. From what you can tell, it smells like halibut, if you had to take a guess. It smells really tasty. It smells like they're doing a pit roast, which makes it very juicy and very tender. And you see the thatched roofs of the village in the distance. Grigri will turn to you and is like, "Is this the place?"
Yeah, that's it.
It's pretty small, and I guess that's why it's not on my map.
Yeah, that's it.
For those that kind of poke their head out and look, you see what looks to be a collection of about maybe 20 structures. Kind of in a loose circle surrounding each other. No wall. On one side of the village, you can see the ocean peeking through. There seems to be one larger house kind of in the middle of it with open walls to every side. All the roofs are made out of what look to be palm thatch, and the houses themselves made out of very natural materials, woods, and they've been, rather than nailed, everything here has been lashed together. As you see, there's not really any like big hammer tools. It looks like what they've done is taken vines, stripped them, or bark from a tree and stripped it, let it dry, and then use that for tying. The houses range in size, but most of them aren't bigger than like a 20-foot by 10-foot space. Though you do notice that most of them have kind of little outbuildings next to them. You can see people sitting out on like covered porches, laying out. During this time of day, it's fairly hot. Most people look like they're taking naps at this time.
Heck yes.
As you are passing through the village, you notice that everyone, as you pass by, everyone's eyes are on the carriage. Prior to getting here, Grigri would have changed the style of the carriage to look like very simple. When it actually has opened up the top to where there's not a cover, and so it looks like it's just a really rudimentary carriage. And rather than having horses pull it, they've been disguised to look like water buffalo. You notice that the eyes looking at you probably aren't necessarily from the carriage itself, but from these random strangers rolling into town, until one of the little girls says, "Ren? Ren?" And the dad who's taking a nap will kind of wake up and is like, "Wait, Ren!"
Yeah, I'll just wave.
And he's like waving, and then like, "Hey, Andy, look, it's Ren." It's like everyone kind of in the village starts like, as this word of Ren kind of coming back, everyone starts like, "Oh, hey," coming to the road and saying like, "Hey, what's going on here?" And as you kind of roll into the middle, Orson, the village chief, he will like kind of come out of this larger building, and he's like, "Ren, you're back. It's been so long. We were worried about you. How's your travels?"
Yeah, I'll like jump off from the cart and like go and like greet him and do whatever like respectful greeting I can. And
you like put your arm underneath your other arm, and you kind of like do like a forearm shake as like that. And then like when you do that, you kind of bow a little lower than he does, but he still kind of gives a little bit of a nod.
I'll say my travels have been great, and I'll look around for any sign of my family or my siblings.
I,
And
I-
if I don't see them, I'll look to him, assuming he knows like what I'm looking for.
don't worry. Let me take you to them. Who are these people that you brought back to our lands?
These I've been traveling with them. We're a sort of team.
They smell funny.
I know.
Like they smell like like they've used too much perfume and they haven't gone into the ocean soon enough. You guys smell funny too, I'll be honest. I didn't want to say anything. But
I figured as much. Hanging around them.
you're like spraying mosquito spray all over. You're like, oh, there's so many bugs. Ew. It's like,
Yeah, I'll say I can't wait to, smell like the sea again.
Bashia is looking forward to embracing you once again. I know it. I take it you're here to see your family.
Yes.
It's been a long time. Come with. It's good that you came.
Been a little under a year, right?
No, it's been probably close to 5 months. I'd say.
That was further.
No, it's been you've been traveling together for a while. Most of that was from your training, which was about 3 months, as well as your time in traveling to and doing the stuff in Theodorn. That was almost a month and a half of itself, and then a couple weeks interspersed between that, and it's been about 5 months. So, with that, Ren, do you motion for your friends to follow or not?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. You all are led by Ren and Orson to the kind of edge of the village, the edge closest to the ocean. You see what look to be some small rafts. They're basically what look to be a canoe, but with a little bit of an outrigger and a sail. No longer than like 10 feet in length. Really small. Sitting kind of on the ocean close to this building. It has a central door on the side that you're coming away from the ocean, though you can see what look to be windows that have simple proppings to open up to let air flow through during the day, and kind of what look to be like bamboo that's been squished and made to be open so that way it can be rolled back up again. So most of it's kind of open at this time, but the house that you lead to has less open at this time than most. Ren, as you approach the house, you see the village shaman kind of outside, out by the water. You can see what looks to be he is taking what looks to be ashes and sprinkling them into the water. You know this to be beckoning for Bashia's grace, as it's a symbolism of fervent need. Not necessarily someone dead, but
Which these aren't like someone's ashes.
not someone's ashes. This is like, you know, this is part of like you take a house's ash pile from their fire pit from their cookhouse, and if you spread them in the water, it's believed that the fire that is placed in that spot will bring forth food that has the life of Bashia in it. Basically transcribing that water in it. And that's why it's always cultural to put out your fire with ocean water rather than fresh water.
Indeed.
Indeed.
But he's far enough away that like I'm not gonna like run into him as I go
No.
inside. So he's just like in the distance.
You see him close to your house. It looks like he's probably performing the ritual for your family.
Yeah.
As-
Yeah, I would just like as we like near the house, if we do make eye contact, like I'll just kind of like nod and just kind of like continue inside.
Yeah.
Like probably assuming that like I don't want to waste my time with him.
Yeah. Amon will kind of give you a nod. And as you enter into it, I imagine like your friends kind of poke their heads around the corner. You see what looks to be almost a mass of what looks to be blankets in one of the corners. You look down, you can see what looks to be your mother breathing, but her breath is kind of fitful, like she's struggling. Her eyes aren't open. Every once in a while, she'll mumble, and you can see her teeth just chattering. So cold. You can see what looks to be a small fire has been placed up, and it looks like they've found a shell that they've polished, and they've let in some of the light from the sun, shining directly onto her, trying to help with the heat. As you enter in, you notice your younger sister, the youngest one. Remind me her name.
Her name was Adriel.
Adriel. She sits in a chair not far away from your mom, clothed very heavily as well. You see a blanket resting across her her midsection, and one pulled over her clothes, and she periodically moves the shell to kind of keep helping heat your mom. You don't see your sister, just younger than you. What remind me of her name?
Tehenna.
Tehenna and Adriel, right?
Yes. I will run inside, and are Adriel and my mom close enough that I can like embrace them both?
Yeah.
Or like, touch them both, like warm them up, kind of.
Yeah.
Take their hands and like give them some warmth.
Yeah. As you run in, you see your sister. She looks at you, and your younger sister, her eyes are halfway between kind of going with color and becoming that almost blind look. I can't remember what it's called. That thick, almost Cadillac style. They kind of got to gloss over, and as she looks at you, she's Ren. Oh, Ren. As she kind of sits up out of her chair, kind of with wobbly feet, as you kind of come and embrace her. Look at this shell I found. As she kind of gestures to the one. I've been using it to help Mom.
I'll say it's great, and I'll just kind of like push her into my body, like get over here, and just like I want to like warm her up, and I just want to like try to give her every ounce of warmth I have, as well as like if I can do that with like my mom too, like if I can just like get them both.
Yeah, you're able to kind of rest yourself kind of close to it. You're sharing that body heat as best as you can. You start in this situation, you start sweating profusely, as this is very, very hot. Your family members, as you touch their skin, they feel so cold. You can still feel it. It's almost like ice. Now that you've traveled outside of Bauli and you've experienced what cold weather feels like, you can see the relation to this. There's no word in your original tongue for ice or snow. There's no need for it. There's only like less hot. And that's basically the way you say it, is not hot. And it's interesting to now come back and have a better way of describing what's going on with your family.
I would just stay there and try to raise my body temperature as much as I could.
Yeah. Your little sister says, we missed you. I'm glad that you're back. I was getting worried that you wouldn't be able to come before. And she kind of
I'll just shh. I'll just keep them there.
your mother every so often she will mutter a little bit of something. Make me a perception check. Take a perception check.
Okay. Come on, +9. That's an unnatural 20. A filthy 20.
Filthy 20. It's so nasty. Disgusting. You hear her mumble. What languages do you know?
Let me tell you. I know Celestial, Common, Elvish, and Primordial.
You know in Primordial, she speaks, it's like almost hearse phrases, maybe not even complete thoughts. Usually along the lines of fire, fire, heat, close, consume, burn, burn. Things kind of like that. Though sometimes it's mingled with your name, your siblings' names, people she knows, your father's name. Some of it's mixed with, like, get up. Like, there's a word for tying the thatching for a roof in your language. She'll say like that, like, get up, stand. So cold, fire, little things.
I will, like, just quietly, just in her ear and Adriel's ear, still, like, in Primordial, if that's what mode she's in, I'm meeting her there. I will just say, I'm here. I'm here, I love you. Ren, I'm here. Your son, I'm here. Warm. And, like, just kind of like reflect what she's saying.
Her eyes will flutter open just a little bit. Ren, warm. And you can see that she seems to, like, the chattering is still there, but seems to kind of calm down. Gather. Home. Near. Safe. relief. These little phrases in this language that you know. Do you know why you know Primordial?
I would say it's mostly like religious rites or something like that.
Yeah, I'd agree. I feel like it's something that it's used in religious rites for your people, but I don't think it's a normal common language to know. I think it was something, if I may appeal, it was something that your father taught you and your family, your mom.
Yeah.
And it was always the language that you used when communicating some of these ideas, some of these thoughts. It's a very terse word. It's not very much made for like conversations. You say like a word, and that word means what it is, and then you reply with the word. It's very similar to how you did with what she was saying.
Yeah, it's like really like not sophisticated.
Yeah. But it's got a lot of emotion built up in each one of those words, and each word can be changed and formed to kind of give off the feelings that go with it. You could feel in her words prior to you saying something a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry, and really there wasn't a ton of emotion there. It almost seems like she's kind of losing it, or in not being able to be there. You do notice how her tone shifts afterwards. Though her eyes close, she'll wrap a hand around yours and give it 2 squeezes.
Yeah, I'll repeat that back.
It's about this moment that you look back and you see your younger sister, just one younger, as you sit there, Tahenna, kind of like looking at this group of random people she doesn't know poking in. You can see that she has what looks to be like a net that's full of like 2 fishes as she kind of pokes around her head through the door and meets like your eyes. And you can see that she's dressed in what looks to be a winter coat. And with that, we're going to end for tonight.
Bro.
Oh,
That got me in the
sad.
feels.
I wanted to say, and Elia understands all of it too. Oh,
Dungeon.
Pungeon.
Dungeon. Dungeon.